Greetings, Masandawana. Greetings, football lovers. Back with another installment of the Yellow Corner. Bring you the preview of our huge game in the CAF Champions League as we take on AS FAR Rabat on Saturday night at 9 o'clock South African time. And yeah, today I'm joined by a special Sundowns supporter, a man who travels all corners of the country following this club that we love so much. Moemedi, how's it, my man?
Hi, also. Good evening. I'm good. How are you, man?
No, man. Good, man. Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while since we were Boloro, and yeah, it's good to have you here, man. I think you're making your debut here on the Yellow Corner, ne?
Yeah, it's my debut. Thanks for inviting me, Aizo. It's a pleasure.
No, man. Thanks for accepting our invite, and I have no doubt this will be a good one, man. It has to be because this is a huge game, man. Yeah, let's get straight into it, Moemedi. Like I said, we're playing AS FAR Rabat, a side that has already won a game in the CAF Champions League. They won their first game, their game in game week 1 when they were away to Raja Casablanca. And now we drew our first game in our group against a side that many will definitely deem to be the weakest side in our group. With all this, do you think our game is now a must-win for us on Saturday?
Yeah, also, look, I think we have put ourselves in a very difficult situation. So because we're not able to beat Maniema Union, so apart from being, I heard that the club is what is deemed the weakest or the beatable team, which I disagree with. I've been following these guys. They last lost the game in March, but anyway, it's a home game. All our home game, we have to win them. Regardless of who we play, whether we play number 1 in Africa or number last in Africa, our home games we have to win them because traveling in Africa is very difficult. Not only in the field, the conditions in and off the field, to get the results in Africa anyway, it's very difficult. So we have put ourselves in a very difficult situation, and unfortunately, we have to get points. When I say points, I say 3 points, because if you go and get a draw or a lose, it's going to put us in a very more awkward situation where at least we have to win 2 games away. So yes, we have to win this by all costs as well.
Yeah, no, man. I agree with you, man. I had already counted 3 points against Maniema. Like you said, they've been doing really well. I think they just recently suffered their first loss, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a long time, and for us not to get maximum points, the first game, the first game, man, it sets the tone. You start well, and the next game, it's a much more difficult one. You're going away from home, and you're thinking a draw in 2 games, you have got 4 points. So I think this is a must win. A draw won't be terrible, but we must not leave Morocco without anything in our bags. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. So I recall Coach Mangaba saying between 2 Moroccan teams, there's one that he feels that we can beat home and away. So I tried to look both this clubs, and I watched their game, full game, when they played together in the first round of CAF Champions League. And I always had a feeling that he might be referring to Raja when I look at the log of Botola, because AS FAR is number 1 and Raja I think is number 6 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. And because of the log standings, I thought Manga was talking about Raja, but after watching their game,
Raja.
Yeah, after watching Raja and AS FAR game, so I get a feeling that he might be referring to AS FAR, probably maybe for lack of experience, and also they were panicking, trying to change the stadium recently. Those are the signs, of rookies in this tournament. So I have a feeling he's talking about AS FAR, and also I think if we can be at our best, I think it's a club that we can beat easily. But we will see.
Yeah, man. we go into this game. History tells us, Moemedi, we in the last few years we've always been this team that does really, really well in the group stages. You know, we've proper fly in the group stages, and then it gets to the knockout stages. When we get to the knockout stages, you know, but we go into this game with these guys already on 3 points, né? And if they win, if they beat us, they go to 6 points, and I think it makes them proper favorites to top the group. Ne? Do you now then think in the long run, ne, if we come second in this group, which will obviously mean in the quarterfinals, we'll play the first leg at home and then the second leg away. Do you think it will, in the long run, it will work for us in the quarterfinal? We'll be playing the second leg away from home. As in previous years, we've not really done well when we started away and then come back home. Eh?
Yeah, as honestly, I looked at Sundowns' recent experience in the past, you know, either playing at home or playing away. You know, we really, apart from when we won the CAF Champions League against Zamalek, we're really not shown where our comfort, you know, our comfort position, where our preference, whether to start at home or to start away. You know, I really don't think it puts us in advantage whether to start at home or to start away. But with AS FAR, I think you know, it's a pity. It's a pity that some of the clubs in our group, they have 2 home games. The first 2 games are at home. You know, when you draw the first game, you know, at least still at home, we can redeem yourself. You might you opportunity to win, you know, the second game to regain your confidence. Unfortunately, we have put ourselves, like I said, in this position, and our technical team and our players don't have any option. They have to go to Morocco and get a result. You know, it's a pity. As I looked earlier, that have we ever won a game in Morocco? You know, we haven't won a game in Morocco. You know, and you look at North African clubs. We haven't played with a lot of Moroccan clubs, at least in recent history. I mean, we only played Wydad. I don't recall us playing Raja. I don't recall us. We haven't played AS FAR. You know, AS FAR it's a new team. Unlike your Egypt, where we played top 3 teams, Zamalek, Al Ahly, and Pyramids, and your in Sudan and Al Merreikh and Al Hilal. So Morocco, it's a tricky area to get into. Maybe because of the renovations they are busy doing. All big stadiums, they are closed. You know, we're gonna play in a 15,000 capacity. I don't expect too much intimidation, especially for the guys who were playing in Morocco for the first time. You know, I don't. They played in FNB. You know, where it was packed, 85 plus. So I don't think there will be goosebumps when we play them in a 15,000 capacity. So I think the boys they just need to win. You know, I hear you saying a draw won't be that bad. In my opinion, I think a draw will put us in a very difficult position, also, because it will give clubs like Raja confidence that they can get something from us. And I said to the guys, you know, I just don't have full confidence going to DRC to play Manema Union in that AstroTurf. You know,
yeah.
They fixed it. I watched a game during AFCON between Tanzania and Ethiopia. I think Ethiopia don't have certified stadium, so they were using that stadium in Kinshasa. So it looks better, the AstroTurf. It's not like the time we played them. I don't know you recall.
Yeah.
It was like pieced together, a lot of bubbles there, so it was not playable. So it looks playable now, but I still don't have real confidence in AstroTurf because these guys are used to it, unlike our boys. So we have to go and get three points in Morocco, and when Raja comes here, we have to get another 3 points and go to New Year with 7 points. So from there, I can tell you that we're going to go into the group stages. But now, really, I can't tell you. You know, after this game, I'll be able to be in a position to say will we do it or not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Guys, apologies for the glitches. I think it's my internet connection. It's not so good today. So if you're watching this and the picture it keeps drifting from good to bad, apologies for that. Now, you were talking about intimidation, and my next question was going to be about a very young boy who has a bright future in front of him, Malibongo Khoza. I do not think Grant will play in this game because he came out at a game CS Kukune. I can't remember if he was holding his inner thigh, which would mean a groin, or the back, which would mean a hamstring. But one of those. So I'm not even sure if he traveled with the team. Do we now throw Mali into the Lions then, and we see if he comes out alive, or do we play an experienced Moscow Musali Busa, and with playing Musa, it also obviously means there's balance at center back because he's left-footed. Mvala is right-footed, so there's that balance. Whereas with Mali, they are both right-footed. Because I think for now, if he's good enough, he's old enough. And from what I've seen, I wouldn't mind if Coach Mangova says, you know what, go swim with the Sharks. Or when are you thinking, well, let's go for experience? This is a must-win game, and we need guys who've been there before.
Also, I think your question, I'm trying to recall where we played a game of consequences, and we had Mvala playing against Libusa. So with Libusa, pairing together. A lot of time Mvala will play him as a left center back, most of the time. So for me, I always see him as him and Libusa competing for that left center back position. But both guys are experienced, they are experienced. However, it's a pity I didn't watch this weekend game. I was out of the country. But the feedback that I got from the guys was Mali gave a good performance in that game also. But the one before that, he also gave a good performance. I was at the stadium. So for me, people who are close to him, also, who believe, who believes that he's ready, he has a big heart, because there's a way. That's not in South Africa. I mean, playing in Loftus in front of your supporters that they love you. You come comfortable and you don't make a lot of mistakes. So for me, again, with Libusa haven't played. I don't know when last Libusa played. He might like match fitness. So that's kind of a risk also. So I think I'll lean towards you that I'll bring Malibongo Khoza. Yes, I can have Libusa on a bench. Between Diruga and Libusa, I think Libusa is the closest one to play. Diruga haven't had a lot of minutes in this leagues. So I will bring Libusa on a bench and start with Malibongo Khoza. So because I watched this guy's attack. So they have the guy which is in number 11, who's very quick and very skillful. His name is I just thought
Hamadu or something. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, he's a very good player. He's a very good player, and they have also a target man number 9. They call him Bear. That guy is physically strong, and the 2 goals they scored against Raja Casablanca were on transition. And both of them, they had a huge impact in those goals. So for me, looking at the target man number 9, having Vala there, I think can deal with him, and also Malibongo with his height. I've seen a couple of times that they can head the ball. So for me, this guy's one of the things they're going to look at is to utilize their set pieces. I'm sure each and every club that we play with, they'll identify our weak point, which is dealing with set pieces. So Mali is high, is ball heading. I've seen a couple of them. I think he can assist us, just like Libusa. Libusa, in my opinion, is the best header of the ball at Sundowns. So I think Mali also can help us. So because Libusa has not been playing, I'll start Malibongo Khoza at the back.
Yeah, no, you just actually the point that you mentioned here, Moscow hasn't been playing, and I don't think he's been on the bench in the last 2 games. But I know how weekend he was not on the bench, and that match fitness plays a huge role, man. Let's go into this game, Moemedi. How do we win this game, or what do you expect from this game win?
Yeah. So like I said, these guys, I watched two of the games. They played this weekend with a club called JSS in Morocco, and also I watched the game against Raja Casablanca. So there were a few changes, about three. A centre back and the captain didn't play this weekend, and also the number 7, what is his name, Al Fali.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he didn't play also. However, they played two different games. So if you watch both games, you will think that no, this is not the same team. So against JSS, they were dominant club. So they were pressing them high, in control of the ball, and they won 3-0. But against Raja, I don't know if you watched that game. So against Raja, this guy, they were sitting back. Raja was the one who was just in control and attacking. Raja, by the way, had almost 20 shots, and they had about 12 shots on target, Raja. AS FAR had 2 shots on target, and those 2 shots on target were goals. So when you look at the stats, they were always having the stats of Raja Casablanca. So I'll focus more on the game of Raja, because I think that's how they're gonna be play against us. I don't think they'll play against us open up like they played JSS, that club they played in Batola. So in honesty, I saw these guys, they play 4-3-3. So they have 2 pivots, their captain and the Jesse. Yeah. So they always sit at the back. None of them advances. You'll have number 10. Their number 10, Zozo, something like that. Who's the one who always try to drop and collect the ball and try to make the guys in front, the front three to play. So in my opinion, the midfield, we should dominate it. Whether we have Teboho alone playing or whether we have Teboho and Batusi playing, we should dominate this midfield very, very, very easily. So my only worry is, actually it's a worry, but they have their also weak points, is their centre back. They've got very big, tall centre back. One of the guys I used to play for Simba, I don't know if you remember him, Inonga. I think it's a DRC international. So Inonga used to be clumsy. So, but these 2 games that I watched, I didn't see the clumsiness. But if clumsiness within you, it will always be there. And let's hope it will appear this weekend. So they've got tall centre backs, and I think that's one of the things that we need to guard against. Also, the aerial ball, the set pieces. We need to limit set pieces. We need to limit the square passes. Square passes that we allowed. Like your Mackenzie and all that, we should limit those things, because this guy, even the target man, is very tall. I mean, I think almost 60% of that squad, they're very tall. So for me, honestly, when I look at I know we'll get to the starting lineup, our front three, we've been mobile this season up front there. Players like your Reyners and the injured Matthews and Kodisang, Shalulile and also Will Ribeiro at times. He'll put mobility there. Those guys are a bit slow. Your 2 centre backs and your full backs. Augusto, what's his name? To Carino, the one who used to play for Pedro. It's reckless. He pushes up, far up, and both of them, even your right back, Bach, they push up quite a lot of time, and those spaces are spaces that we can utilize. Both games that I watched with JSS and also Raja, they push up. You push up. They play more or less like us. They are wing backs. So if we're very smart enough, we can utilize those spaces behind them. And I think, again, one thing that we need to do, it's a pity you don't have players like Bushishi, but I still think Tapelo can play in half spaces. These guys, they leave quite a lot of big gap between your center backs and your pivots. But that was on the JSS game. But during Raja, they played differently, like I said. So there were times where they formed line of 6, defending all of them, 6 of them. your 4 defenders, including your 2 pivots, having a line there. So having somebody like Thapelo, Thapelo, he showed me a couple of times with Ribeiro, that they can play both, can play together, and they can play in half spaces. It can give us advantage, because I suspect, we might face a low block. I might sound crazy that how do you face a low block in number 1 club in the country, in Botola, when you get there? But I don't see those guys playing us open. They will defend. Probably will start defending, try to catch us on the counter and close up the game. So players like Thapelo, complementing Ribeiro there, can create quite a lot of goal scoring opportunities. Find Reynas, or even one of them finding us a goal.
Yeah, no, and yeah, you sound like someone who's watched these guys a couple of times, and yeah, and I watched the cup. I think I watched their last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. Coach Mangoba said something interesting at the end of the press conference. He said we have a very nice approach for matches like this, because I think that is where we are stronger. And I think he was, in a way, hinting these guys might come and play an open game, and it would suit us to the T because of how we play, how quick we are now, getting into the final third. And I think that's how they might approach the game as well. I think they might start on a front foot, try and get a goal, and then once they have a goal, they can now sit back, because they have something that they can hold on to, and now it makes us vulnerable as we attack them. We leave spaces, So I think they might play on a front foot. Hence, I think us getting a goal first is very, very important in this game. You know how North Africans are, man. Once they get the game, gamesmanship comes into play, because they have something to hold on to. They start wasting time, they start killing your momentum and stuff like that. They are a typical North African side, like you said. Very good set pieces in the games that they recently won 3-0. 2 of those goals came from 3 set pieces, man. And they have a huge guys, man. Like you said, probably 60% Yabona height. Very, very tall guys there. CDM Nanji is tall. Hikmat, the captain, is tall. Inonga that you spoke about, Bohatim, Bachi, and Beya. Those guys are really, really, really tall, But with that said, as tall as they are, they can also play these guys, Game Yabona that they recently played 1-1. I watched the full game. They play, they can build up from the back, and move with the ball forward. They don't necessarily wait for you to come and then open spaces so that they can, and then they move forward. No, they move with the ball forward, so they can play. I think we will need physicality in this game, and I think Batusi will be very, very crucial for us in this game. I think Batusi needs to have a good game, and I have no doubt that he will have a very good game. We need to keep an eye on their number 10, Zuzu, that you spoke about, man. A really, really good player. He can play as a left forward. He can play as a 10, And he averages 0.9 and 0.99 ratings per game in the Patrola League, He has 4 goals and 4 assists. And then their captain as well, Matt, he can stay, but he can also move, And in the final third, he's good because he has got, I think, 4 goals and 3 assists as well in the Patrola League this season. So I think those are 2 guys that we need to keep an eye on. Not forgetting the number 11, Hamoud, if I'm not mistaken, and the number 7 that you mentioned, who plays as a right forward, Fahi or something like that, And then they have Naji, their center back, their number 13. He just recycles the ball, he receives, he moves it, and he just protects the back 4. And I think at times they, like you said, they bomb forward so much, it leaves them vulnerable when they lose possession. And I think Ribeiro will be very, very key in that aspect when we regain possession, and him finding himself in free spaces, and playing those killer passes that we can kill them with. They overload their left side. I was looking at the hit map at this season. Canelo, the left back from this Pedro, the number 11, Hamoud, and then the captain, Hilmat, He comes a lot of times into the left. Lee Zozu at times he comes to the left, so they're going to overload that space. So I think if Tebza plays as a right side at 8, he will need to help Mudau a lot in that aspect, because we can't leave Mudau against 3 players or 4 players. You spoke about their center back pairing, man. At times I don't feel they are in sync, and I think with the attack that we have up top, we'll have opportunities, and we would need to bury those opportunities. Time is not on our side, Moemedi. Can I please have your lineup, please?
Yeah, so also, I had Kekan on my lineup, so I didn't know that he's injured. I'll replace him with 1 player. So at the goals, I'll have Ronald Williams. Left back, I'll have Aubrey Mudiba. I was a bit conflicted in that, but I'll tell you why I had Aubrey. Right back, I'll have Kulisa Mudau. On the center back, I'll have Malibongo Kosa and Mvana. So I'll have those. And in the middle, I'll play Teboho and Batusi Obas. Teboho more of an 8, but I like how they played against Kaizer Chiefs. If they can just play like that, sometimes they were confusing. We couldn't tell who's a 6, who's an 8. Yes. So I'll play Allende. I was with Allende, I wanted to bring Mukulisi to help us drive the ball forward, and because these guys, they play together quite a lot, these 3 midfielders. I'll just bring Allende for the synergy, to keep that synergy and telepathy. And up front, I will play Reynas with Ribeiro and Shasha. So I was thinking Morena. I remember earlier on when I was talking about Morena, but Morena can come later, as an attack if things don't work well. He loves North Africa, Thapelo Morena. So we'll also keep the guys busy. I mean, the name, they still know it, that is Peter Shaluli, and he brings element of threat. And those guys might get June, July, when Shaluli is there, and leave only for Ribeiro and Reynas. Yeah, that will be my starting lineup as well.
We have the same lineup, Moemedi. We have the same lineup. Lena, the thing that you just mentioned, Kashalulile, that element, I still have this thing of Shalulile in a big game. He will give us something, and that's why I'll have him, because people that they know him, they go into this game knowing what he's capable of. Man, before we run out of time, can I please have your score predictions?
As I think we're gonna win 1-0. Yeah, I think we're going to win 1-0. It will be good if you score more than that, but I think we're going to win 1-0, and that goal is going to come late in the second half.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those who are who into betting late goal second half, I think we will win. Can't the same Genia more than 1 goal, but I think it will be 2-1. I think I don't trust us to keep a clean sheet in North Africa, especially with our aerial deficiencies, in defending. So I think it will be a 2-1 victory, man. Moemedi, man, thank you very much for joining me, man. Thank you, Masandawana, for watching, and everyone who's gonna watch this. I'm sure even Rabat fans will definitely watch this. Once again, apologies for my poor internet connection. I don't know what was going on today, man. And yeah, next preview will be next week, Thursday. Bring you the preview of our game week 3 fixture as we host Raja Casablanca at Loftus on Sunday. Thank you, Moemedi, for joining me. Until next time, sharp.
My pleasure.